Abortion has become one of the most complicated issues for Donald Trump, especially following his success in appointing 3 conservative Supreme Court justices who helped overturn Roe v. Wade in 2022. This monumental decision energized religious conservatives, a crucial part of Trump's base, but it has also alienated key voter demographics, particularly suburban white women with college degrees, voters that Republicans struggled to win over in the 2022 midterm elections. Trump's position on abortion reflects a tightrope walk between appeasing conservative voters who favor more stringent restrictions and avoiding backlash from more moderate, suburban, and independent voters who are generally less supportive of strict abortion bans. He has long stated that abortion restrictions should be decided by the states, a position that aligns with his party's decentralized approach to the issue. However, he also supports exceptions for cases of rape, incest, and threats to the mother's life, which is seen as a more moderate stance compared to hardline conservatives. Despite his role in facilitating the fall of Roe v. Wade, Trump's campaign has strategically avoided focusing on abortion in its Agenda 47 policy platform, signaling a potential reluctance to engage heavily with the issue on a national stage. Trump has deflected questions about whether he would veto a national abortion ban, emphasizing that such legislation is unlikely to pass Congress. His non-committal stance on executive actions, such as restricting access to abortion pills or imposing national restrictions, underscores his desire to avoid becoming a lightning rod for criticism from either side. In contrast, Democrats have seized on Trump's ambiguity and past actions on abortion to make the issue a central attack line in their 2024 campaign. Vice President Kamala Harris has become one of the most vocal advocates for reproductive rights, using abortion as a defining issue to mobilize voters. Harris's prominence on the issue stands in stark contrast to President Joe Biden, who has been more hesitant in discussing abortion publicly. Democrats are betting that highlighting Trump's role in overturning Roe will resonate with moderate and independent voters, especially women, in key battleground states. Trump's approach to immigration, a return to hardline policies. Immigration has been one of the cornerstones of Donald Trump's political career, dating back to his 2015 campaign launch when he promised to build a wall along the U.S.-Mexico border. In his 2024 run, Trump is doubling down on his hardline immigration stance, positioning himself as the candidate who will seal the border and carry out the largest deportation in American history. One of the most significant elements of Trump's immigration platform is his commitment to reduce both legal and illegal immigration. His campaign has outlined plans to deport undocumented immigrants en masse, which he argues would help address domestic issues like job scarcity and healthcare system shortfalls. Trump has promised to send them all back to their countries where they belong, a message designed to appeal to his base's concerns about border security and economic competition. During his first administration, Trump pursued several controversial immigration policies, including the attempted repeal of Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, DACA, which protects undocumented immigrants who came to the U.S. as children. He also implemented the zero-tolerance policy at the southern border, which resulted in the widely criticized separation of children from their parents. These measures, while popular with a segment of Trump's base, sparked intense backlash both domestically and internationally, raising concerns about human rights violations. Despite his previous actions, Trump has recently softened his stance on certain aspects of immigration, particularly regarding skilled immigrants. He has expressed support for giving green cards to foreign-born graduates of American universities, arguing that retaining talent in the U.S. is critical for economic growth. This reflects a more pragmatic view of immigration's role in bolstering American competitiveness, particularly in industries like technology and healthcare. J.D. Vance, Trump's running mate and a senator from Ohio, has largely aligned his views with Trump on the campaign trail. Vance has taken a similarly hardline approach, even spreading rumors about immigrants in his state engaging in criminal activities, despite a lack of evidence. Vance also supports measures that would cut federal funding to schools hiring undocumented workers, underscoring the Trump-Vance ticket's commitment to tough immigration enforcement. Democrats, for their part, are using Trump's extreme rhetoric on immigration to appeal to swing voters, especially those concerned about the humanitarian and economic implications of his policies. Vice President Harris has taken a more assertive stance on immigration than the Biden administration, promising to secure the border while also distancing herself from the controversial family separation policies that defined Trump's first term. However, Harris has faced challenges in balancing the Democratic Party's progressive wing, which favors more compassionate immigration policies, with the need to address public concerns about border security. Polling on immigration shows that American opinions have shifted significantly in recent years, with a growing majority across political affiliations supporting a reduction in immigration levels. However, some of Trump's more controversial proposals, such as child separation and ending DACA, remain unpopular with the broader electorate. Democrats hope to capitalize on this divide by framing Trump's immigration policies as too extreme, particularly in states with large immigrant populations like Arizona, Nevada, and Florida. Economic policy: tariffs, inflation, and trade wars. Trump's economic message in 2024 revolves around his pledge to end inflation and revive American manufacturing, a key theme in his Agenda 47 platform. Trump's economic populism, which centers on protecting American workers and industries from foreign competition, is once again at the forefront of his policy proposals. His plan includes cutting federal spending and regulations, increasing domestic energy production, and reducing immigration, all of which he claims will spur economic growth and reduce inflation. A critical component of Trump's economic strategy is his proposal to impose a 20% tariff on most imports, with even higher tariffs for goods from China. Trump argues that these tariffs will protect American industries from unfair foreign competition, particularly in the manufacturing sector, which has seen significant job losses due to outsourcing and globalization. In swing states like Pennsylvania and Michigan, where many voters feel left behind by trade policies, Trump's message may resonate. However, there are concerns that Trump's tariff-heavy approach could backfire by raising prices for American consumers. Economists have warned that higher tariffs on goods, including essential imports like oil, could lead to price hikes that exacerbate inflation rather than alleviate it. Some analysts have also suggested that Trump's protectionist policies could slow economic growth and potentially trigger a recession, as tariffs increase costs for businesses and reduce consumer spending power. Trump has often misrepresented how tariffs work, asserting that foreign governments, rather than American consumers and businesses, bear the brunt of the cost. In reality, tariffs are usually passed down to consumers through higher prices, particularly on goods like electronics, clothing, and household items. This could undermine Trump's claims that his economic policies would lower costs for everyday Americans. J.D. Vance has echoed Trump's protectionist stance, particularly regarding China. He has argued that tariffs are necessary to shield American workers from unfair trade practices, positioning himself as a champion of the working class. This message is likely aimed at voters in manufacturing-heavy states, where outsourcing and automation have led to widespread job losses. Democrats have sought to highlight the potential risks of Trump's economic policies, particularly the impact tariffs could have on inflation and the cost of living. Vice President Harris has been a key voice in warning voters that Trump's proposed tariffs could increase everyday costs for Americans. However, the Biden administration's decision to maintain some of the tariffs introduced during Trump's first term, particularly on Chinese goods, has complicated the Democratic Party's messaging on trade policy. Economic issues are expected to play a pivotal role in the 2024 election, as voters are deeply concerned about inflation, rising costs of living, and the state of the job market. Trump's economic platform, with its focus on reducing immigration, cutting taxes, and imposing tariffs, is designed to appeal to working-class voters who feel they have been left behind by globalization. Meanwhile, Harris is working to court more professional-class voters, offering a vision of economic growth that prioritizes investments in green energy and technology. Conclusion: Trump's tightrope in 2024. Donald Trump's 2024 campaign faces the challenge of balancing a hardline stance on issues like immigration and abortion, while also appealing to a broader electorate concerned with economic issues like inflation and job growth. His agenda, built on promises to cut taxes, impose tariffs, and reduce immigration, seeks to rally his base while attempting to avoid alienating key voting blocs, such as suburban women and moderate independents. Democrats, led by Kamala Harris, are focusing on Trump's vulnerabilities, using his record on abortion and immigration as attack lines, while also challenging his economic policies. As the 2024 election draws nearer, Trump's ability to navigate these complex issues will be crucial in determining whether he can reclaim the presidency or if Democrats will successfully capitalize on the contradictions in his platform to win over critical swing voters.